Cushion fans. Man, I'll tell you what, I am so freaking glad that I've got hooked up with this cat. Man, he's doing I can't say thank you enough, Hollywood, man. You're doing a hell of a job this week.
Oh, like I said, buddy, you know what? I'm actually having fun doing it. You know, it's I mean, I talk to these guys anyway. You know, I'm here. I talk to them anyway, so why not throw in something? You know, and that way, people that enjoy racing that aren't here get to enjoy what I'm kind of seeing and doing.
And that's just it, and that's where what we're going to focus on. That's what we're focusing on this week is, number one, promoting Wes Irwin, but number two, our agenda here is to get this thing through your eyes. Just to bring everybody up to date. For those of you that haven't heard the first few updates from Wes, this is his first time there. It's a bucket list item for him. And we're just trying to experience this through his eyes to see what he's seeing. Now, with that being said, Wes, man, last night, shit kind of got heated up there last night, man. The gears changed. The switch flipped last night, didn't it, buddy?
Oh, my God. If the rest of the week is like this, I'm telling you right now, I don't care what you got to do, save all your money for your vacation and make it this part of your vacation, because if the rest of the week is anything like last night, it was off the hook. I've never seen that kind of racing in my entire life, even while I'm strapped in the car. It was pretty intense. Every race was intense.
Man, I'll tell you what, I can tell you from experience, buddy, tonight's going to be better. Tomorrow night will be even better, but wait till Saturday night. You are going to be absolutely blown away at what happens Saturday night when these guys are going for that actual golden driller Saturday night, man. But so tell us a little bit, what was some of the things that stuck out in your mind? I guess we can start with the race champions. We don't need to get into great detail here, but I just want to, if you can remember what happened during that race, was there anything that really jumped out at you during that race last night?
Well, what jumped out at me is that you picked the guy to win, man. You picked him when we talked about that. I didn't. Tony finished in third, so that's all good. But you know what? I didn't really. That was the one race I really didn't get to watch because I was watching it through my cell phone, videotaping it for everybody.
That is a badass video, by the way, Wes. People are loving it. Thanks a lot for that. But go ahead, buddy. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's all right, man. But what I could see is that it was just like every other race. It was like the 8 heat races, the B mains, the C mains, and the feature. It was just like that. It was totally intense. A lot of battling. I'll tell you what, J.J. Yaley, you know what? I picked the wrong guy. Kyle Larson won the feature. You're talking about the race of champions. Evan Swindell won the race of champions. I'm on the other race here. But he battled with J.J. Yaley like it was insane. And the funny thing about that was J.J. Yaley, in the practice for the race of champions, flipped his car. So in a matter of, 20 minutes, 25 minutes, they put that car back together. He came out. Now, he started up front. He led most of it, but Swindell worked him and finally took him. So that was a very intense race. So Kevin Swindell won that race. Kyle Larson won the main race for the night.
There you go. Now, go ahead and give me my props. I'm going to go ahead and let you sit here and feed my ego for a minute. But I think JJ was one of my wannabe dark horse picks yesterday, too, wasn't he?
You're right. You were going to go with him. You said you had a hard time not going with him. You did pick somebody else, though.
He runs tonight.
But
yep, he runs
you picked McCready.
Yep, I did. I picked McCready. That's my dark horse pick. And but I'll tell you what, another one that I'm having a hard time not choosing, and I told you this also. He runs his qualifiers tonight, and that's Christopher Bell. He'll be in the team car to Kyle Larson. He'll be in the 67K for Keith Coons Motorsports tonight. And we had a chance to talk to him today. I can't wait for you to hear that interview, and I really want to get you guys hooked up out there, Wes. You'll really like this kid. But watch him tonight, buddy. I'm telling you, watch him tonight. The kid's for real. So, yeah, man, I tell you, I was listening on Racing Boys last night to the broadcast, and now, to be honest with you, I only got to listen for about an hour last night. We had the live deals going on last night, and then there was a friend of mine that was doing live updates on a World Outlaws page on Facebook, so I signed out and let her use my account so she could do updates because the Chili Bowl website went down. So I didn't get to listen to a whole lot last night, and it's like I was telling you, I was dependent on you to find out exactly what was going on out there. But anyway, in my long-winded self, Racing, man, from what I'm reading and hearing today, uh, it's like you're saying, the racing was just off the hook last night. So be prepared for tonight, man. Them guys are going to bring that A game trying to get to that A main Saturday night. That's for sure. But
you know what? I wanted to do a shout out too for there was two drivers last night that impressed me because one of them actually had to go through a couple qualifiers. That was that Zach Dom.
Yeah,
that boy there, man. What an impressive ride. I mean, he came from the back to the front in every race. I believe he was even in an incident where he had to start in the back again for the second time and came up to the front. But man, and then P.J. Jones. Matter of fact, P.J. Jones was another one. He was rough and tough though. He was plowing through there. But I tell you what, those guys there deserve a shout out because they ran a hell of a race all night long just to kind of finish in the top 15. You know, it was a little easier for some of them guys. They were starting up front, you know?
Right. It's good. You know, you bring up an interesting point, Wes. Now, you know, the thing that people have to remember is passing points play into this system. So, you know, people like Dom that run up through the field, you know, like you said, 2 or 3 times last night in different races, they're accumulating a bunch of points, man. So, you know, it's not necessarily over for them yet. That's going to determine lineups, you know, for the last chance races and things like that. So what you're saying, you know, what you notice, that's a very important part of the deal out there. Have you had a chance to really sit down and are you pretty clear on what's going on as far as lineup and how people make it into that A main Saturday night? Because I'll tell you what, after 20 years of loving this sport, man, I still don't know how it works, to be honest with you, 100%.
Well, yeah, you know what? It can be a little confusing. I mean, it's definitely all about those passing points for sure. And it is a little confusing. So, you know what? I'm not really good at math, especially when I'm drinking beers most of the day and all night long. I'm definitely not good at math. But you know what?
Man.
I figured it out. I figured it out by the end of the day, and I'm one of those guys. So I'm not in a car. 9 times out of 10, I'm racing a car. So I don't even know what the heck's going on when I'm racing my own car with points.
You know, honestly, you brought up, that's an interesting point, Wes, man. You know, is when you're in the car driving, and I know exactly what you're saying, man. You're not thinking about that stuff. You just want to beat that guy's ass in front of you, man. You just want to get around him and go, man. That's the only thing on your mind. All right, man. Hey, you've had a pretty exciting day today, man. You have been extremely busy today. But you got a chance to go attend a very, very, very cool event for a very, very, very cool cause. And we got an interview from that with Jennifer Jones from the Jeff Gordon Children's Foundation that you hooked us up with. But tell us about that kick event that you attended today, man. What was going on there?
Well, that was pretty cool because, you know, when I participated in a kick event at Williams Grove Speedway, but that was when the National Open was going on. It was still summertime out. We played on some baseball fields. This was actually inside a building here at the fairgrounds, and it was pretty cool. I was a little worried about some of the drivers that were in it because it was a concrete floor. I was hoping they wouldn't get hurt and not be able to race, but they had 2 fields going on, and silent auctions, live auctions, 50-50s, all kinds of things. And I tell you what, there was people in the stands. It was amazing. It was pretty good. There was people in the stands, and they were just coming down and handing them $100 to give to the donation, the cause, for no reason at all, which is cool. But they had some top flying drivers in that thing. It was fun to watch Casey Kane out in the outfield. You know, Casey Kane was there, Brady Bacon, Brad Sweet. I mean, just there was a ton of them. Pittman was there. Who else was there? I think Clausen was there. Yeah, Clausen had a team. Kyle Larson. So all your bigger names were there. So that made it even better. You have to watch those guys have a little fun outside of the track.
That is such a great cause for pediatric cancer, man. That is awesome. It is so cool that somebody like Jeff Gordon would attach his name to that. And as we'll find out in the interview, I don't want to give too much away from this interview, but as we'll find out, and you made this comment, you can tell that it's something, even though he wasn't there, that is near and dear to his heart, and he really cares about it. So that's a pretty cool deal, man.
Absolutely.
That's a pretty cool deal. All right, man, moving on, you've brought us a couple interviews that I happen to currently be working on right now, but as all this gets posted, they will have already been posted by the time this interview with you gets posted. So did all that make sense, man? That sounded like a Chili Bowl race, didn't it? All right, man.
No, I got you.
We talked to Ryan Smith today, one of your PA Posse guys, and Steve Buckwalter from up there in PA, man. And I'll tell you what, those two guys, you told me that it was going to be cool, and I knew nothing about them before talking to them this afternoon. And I have to tell you, those are two of the coolest dudes that I have ever talked to in my life, man. They were so easy to talk to, great interviews. Not only that, man, they just sound very confident and just like they have talent just oozing out of them, man. Tell me more. Tell me a little bit more about these guys, Wes.
Well, I tell you what, Ryan Smith is an upcomer, and he's driving for a very veteran driver in Central PA. He drives for Donnie Kreitz, and Donnie Kreitz has been around for a long time. Ryan Smith did a lot of micro stuff, and then started jumping into his sprint car. He's just an up and coming kid. He's a youngster, and he's full of confidence. I like that. Stevie Buckwalder, that's a character right there, man. He messes with me all the time, but there's a guy, I think Stevie's probably been racing for about 25 years, tearing up tracks and micro sprints, midgets, mainly midgets, and he's been doing some sprint car stuff here of the late, and running with the world. I mean, he's everywhere. The boy travels. I believe he just got back from New Zealand not too long ago. But he's quite the character. He likes to party, likes to have fun. He's true Brits, true grassroots racing. The guy. He has some big sponsors behind him, but I think he kind of worked hard to get, to where he's at, and that was just hardcore racing.
That's kind of what I pulled away with talking to him, man, when he was telling us about his elite midget chassis business that he has, and just talking to you, that's exactly what I got out of that. Is he, he's a true racer, man.
Right, and here's something cool about that. I mean, like he started off small, but I understand that the car that J.J. Yaley's racing here this week was built by Stevie. So there you go. You know what I mean? He's starting to get his name out there, been around the block, and just a hardcore racer. Kind of one of those guys you don't hear about on the media a little bit, but he's in the mix all the time.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, you just nailed it on the head, Wes. I know personally how JJ is with his chassis in both sprints, midgets, and everything else, and how particular he is about that kind of stuff. And for you to just say something like that about Stevie, man, that any true racer out there that knows what's going on, down here at this level, knows that that's a big deal, man, for JJ to pick his car. But all right, man, racing's getting ready to fire up for night 2. I don't have the lineups in front of me, so we can't kind of go through the heat races tonight. So we won't do any picks tonight.
Sure.
We'll make sure to get that done tomorrow. But just know to watch Christopher Bell tonight, man.
I'll give you one pick. Because he's old school, he's a veteran, and he's just crazy as hell. And I know Jack Holdenchild's running tonight, so I'm going to be rooting for him all night long.
I cannot root against the Wild Child, man. I can't. But man, I gotta go. I gotta stick with my Christopher Bell tonight, man. I gotta give Chris a shout out. But
I got you though. If you ever come down to the Chili Bowl though, and it costs a little bit to come down here because it's all week long. But Jack Holdenchild is worth every penny to come here and sit in the stand. That man is insane.
I don't think he's ever going to give up his insaneness, is he? I really don't, man.
They see a lot of these older racers, kind of like myself. I shouldn't have never said that, but kind of like myself. They say we lose it a little bit, but you know what? I don't know about all that. You get a lot of hype about talking up the young guns and all this and that, and that's great. There's quite a few old guys out there that still got it, and I like that.
Honestly, I don't want to get into a big conversation about that. This is obviously something I want to talk to you about later on down the road when it's, when we got a lot of time to talk about things. But that's an interesting point that you brought up, and I feel the same way. I don't feel any different today strapping in a car than I did when I was, 19, 20 years old. As a matter of fact, I think I'm a little less on the hesitant side about gassing it nowadays than I was back then. You feel about the same way?
Yeah, you know what I do. I haven't been racing sprint cars that long, to be honest with you. But I broke my neck, I broke my back, I broke every rib in my body, and among some other things. And I think I get a little harder on the throttle every year. Where most people would probably say, "Oh, I'm never doing that again." So I guess it's one of those like. It's not like I have something to prove. It's just like I got nothing to lose.
I agree with you 100%. You know about my wrecks and that we had talked about. In 2011,
right.
Come back. get flown off to the hospital, come back and win 3 races in a row the next 3 weeks, you know. And I have to agree with you, man. There's just something in us old guys like you, and actually you used to be the Wild Child. So we're trying to give you a new moniker here with Hollywood. So hopefully we'll get that lined out. Yeah. But I think the Wild Child moniker should fit us old guys that just throw caution to the wind, gas the car, and go out there and get them checkered flags, man. But
that's absolutely right, man.
All right. At any rate, 2 more things we got to cover before we get off of here, buddy. Number one's the beer fridge. What's it looking like?
Well, I'll tell you what. We did restock it, but I just noticed when I was filling my cooler up to bring it along here, man, we're out again. And I haven't even attended that many parties. There's a lot of parties going on, and it's just like, with Chris working on the track, taking photos and things like that, we can't make all the parties. Yeah, we're a little up there in age and stuff, so we're not hitting all the parties, but man, I'm out of beer again. I don't know what I'm going to do about that. We'll have to restock.
We're going to be getting another liquor store picture tonight, aren't we?
You might tonight, yes.
All right, man. Hey, and hey, by the way, give Chris a big shout out. I want to give Chris Keith Photos another huge shout out for the photos that y'all sent into OTC again today. Awesome photos, great. I can't thank him enough for giving us that stuff, man. That is so awesome. So make sure to give Chris a big pat on the back for me, and let him know I said thanks. I know he's a busy man out there. All right, here's the last thing.
He is.
Here's the last thing we got to do, man. Your daily words of wisdom.
Ooh, I knew you were going to throw that at me. I'll tell you what I'm going to do tonight. I'll have some for you, but tonight I'm going to let you throw in your wisdom. Give me one of yours.
Oh, my words of wisdom for the night. You're not going to, I don't know if you'll like this one or not. It's pretty common, but this is the first thing that jumped into my head. Opinions are like assholes, and everyone's got one, and they all stink.
Well, it's definitely a good phrase. Definitely a good phrase.
I'm sorry, man. That's the first thing that popped into my head. So we'll just
have to. That's what it's all about. I'll have some good ones for you tomorrow.
All right, man. That'll work. All right, we'll catch up with you later, man. Enjoy the racing out there tonight. Be safe, Wes. Be careful, man. Enjoy yourself. Drink some beer.
Absolutely,
drink some Red Bull, man. And we'll talk to you again tomorrow, buddy.
One thing before I go, buddy, I just want to give a shout out to 3 things here. One is Raceaholic Racewear. They rock. Katie Racewear, my friends down under, and my wife who couldn't come along on this trip. I love you and I miss you, honey. We're having fun without you, but we'll bring you along next year.
We're all going next year, buddy. We are all going next year. That's for sure, because your ass is going to be in the seat of one of them midgets, man. All right,
yeah, well, that's going to be cool.
All right, Hollywood, man. Enjoy the race tonight, and we'll catch up with you tomorrow, buddy.
You bet, brother.
All right, later, man.